Right, we've got 6 minutes before this memory card fills up. Welcome to Dead Good Book Reviews, I'm Judith, and you're watching another reading vlog. Another one, I know. What I'm going to do this time is a little bit different from last time. The real obstacle that stops me from just vlogging my experiences and my reading throughout the week is that I can't vlog at work. But if I work from home, I can vlog. So yeah, I'm going to try and vlog this week. I'm going to try and show you what I'm reading. I've got a few exciting things I need to do. I want to make kale crisps today because we have some kale in the fridge. Yeah, just bring you along with me for my week working from home, in part because otherwise I worry that I'm going to go completely mad. Today is Monday the 16th of March, so I say we go until like Friday and see how we go. I'm about to start Ruin of Stars by Lindsay Miller. This is on my March TBR, so if you want to know about kind of the basics of it, go watch that video. I think it'll be a nice easy one because it's 400 pages, but they're quite big font and it's quite easy reading, I think. Excited to read NB Protagonist. I'm going to try and do a little bit of reading. What time is it? If I want to start work at 8:30, I've got about half an hour to have my tea, put laundry on and get going. So I'm going to do a bit of reading, but I will check back in with you guys again at lunchtime. I hope wherever you are on this, whatever day this vlog goes up, that you are having a nice day too, and maybe if you have another whole week of being by yourself, you find some solace in also being by yourself with me. Ignore the messier parts of my kitchen. Welcome. This is where it is. You're currently on top of the fridge. I might adjust you. Basically, I want to make kale crisps. I thought rather having a vlog that's just me from one angle the whole time, I would show you how I make kale crisps. You're welcome. I know I'm going to get a comment from probably a man, saying like, why aren't you talking about books? I don't care about kale. Skip ahead. I don't care. I've done about this much kale. This will make a minimal amount of kale crisps because the whole point is that we're sucking all the water out of them and making them small, but they are delicious. And otherwise I think I'm just going to end up eating biscuits this whole week, which feels like a bad idea. So first thing I'm doing, I'm going through and I'm taking out all of the stems like this because they won't dry, or they won't dry very well, and it just makes for an unpleasant crisp. I'm not religious about it, like I'm not overly fussed if one or two get through. It's actually much easier to do this if you have like big leaves of kale rather than this pre-cut stuff, but this is what they had in Sainsbury's. Your stem. You want a little bit of oil. I'm using chili oil because it adds a bit of kick. Just kind of a little bit of that, probably a few teaspoons. And if I was doing this with ordinary oil, I'd mix it with my hands. But because it's chili oil, I'm not going to, because I'm going to minimise the risk of me then touching my face. You just want enough that when we put the garlic in, it'll stick. Basically, the more you put on, the crispier they'll get, but if you drown them, then they'll just kind of be sad and soggy and kind of ruin the point of making healthy crisps. See, if I was a professional, I'd have got these out earlier. I have soy sauce. This is dark soy. It does not matter which kind you use. You just need enough to kind of get on the leaves. I've done it with big garlic granules, and that's what I like more, but we only have these kind of Sainsbury's powdery ones and they work fine. It's just not as fun. About a teaspoon of that, maybe even less. Yeah, probably less. Oh well, they'll just be extra garlicky. I'm home alone. So yeah, there should be kind of some of everything on everything, but not a huge amount. There's still a stem in here. Never mind. And then all you have to do is stick them in the dehydrator for about 4 or 5 hours on about 50 or 60, basically until they're dry. So I will enjoy these this evening. I hope you enjoyed this kale crisp segment. See you in the next bit of the vlog where I talk about actual reading when all of these are on the thing. Ahoy! I've just devoured my lunch. It's a beautiful sunny day. I'm staring out of the window, about to start working again. Reading content. 169 pages into Ruin of Stars. Beginning of chapter 22, that would be an impressive number of chapters. I'm not going to go into too much detail if this is going to be a weekly vlog, so I'll just kind of do a recap when I get to the end. But it's alright so far. Definitely, if you're thinking about starting this, go back and reread Mask of Shadows. Do yourself a favour. I'm a little bit confused. I'm hoping it will all come back to me as soon as it needs to. We'll find a recap if you can't. That's all I'll say on that for now. But it is interesting. They're doing a lot more with the non-binary stuff that I didn't really get covered in book 1. Anyway, I'm going back to work for a bit and then I will see you again this evening for a bit more reading, and I also need to write some book reviews. And when I say some, I mean like 10. Oops. So that's my other thing that I'm doing this week that's relevant to this vlog. Hello, welcome to kale crisp time, and this is what they look like. I like that I am a beauty guru but for kale crisps. They taste pretty good. In fact, no, they taste really, really good, but that's because they've got soy sauce on them. If my options are eating this or a whole bag of chili heatwave Doritos, which is what I did the other day, I won't just be chewing for this entire vlog segment. I don't think I've read any more since we last spoke. I'm going to finish vlogging for today, unless I record anything later that I want to talk about. But mostly I'm going to be writing book reviews. I've got some Instagram stuff I need to edit. It's not particularly interesting. But I will be back tomorrow morning when I will have hopefully finished Ruin of Stars. I think we can chat about this tomorrow morning. Sounds good? Sounds good. Good morning. It is Tuesday. It is day 2 of this fabulous reading vlog. Coffee has been obtained and it's time to, well, it's nearly time to get to work, but at the moment it's time to do other work, bookish work. I have just finished Ruin of Stars. Yeah, it was okay, 3 stars overall in the end. I'll talk about it more in my wrap up, but I just didn't feel it was very cohesive, which was kind of what I expected. So maybe it was self-fulfilling prophecy, I don't know. The first one is much better, but I don't know if you read them back to back if it would have more to it, because I did definitely forget who most of the characters were. My options for today, because I'm kind of ploughing through my own TBR, and then we'll move on to rereads. I have N.K. Jemisin's 100,000 Kingdoms. I have Brandon Sanderson's, oh this is going to be a mess. I have Brandon Sanderson's Hero of Ages, The Hero of Ages, and I have Tunnel Bones by V.E. Schwab. I think I'm going to do The 100,000 Kingdoms, because I feel like it. Don't have anything else to say, it's the point of mood reading. Enjoy the white tiger in the background while I go to find my TBR. I have 12 books left on my TBR for March. It is the 17th today, so that should be fine. Doable if we're continuing this trend of vaguely one a day. But I do have a lot of reviews to write, so that kind of needs to take priority. Hence why I'm getting through the owned TBR, because that's the stuff that needs reviewing, and then I can catch up while I do my rereads. So I will see you at lunchtime for another kind of catch-up session. It's 4:45 on Tuesday. I finished work now. I finished early. I've been feeling super anxious all day. All this news stuff is not sitting well, but I have a very lovely line manager and my work has a really good flexi time scheme, so I've finished for the day, resetting tomorrow to be more productive with a better rested brain and all of that stuff. I've just done a bit more reading of the 100,000 Kingdoms. I am about 100 pages in, just about 106. I like it so far. I'm never that good with very kind of political, infighting family heirs and all of this stuff, fantasy, which is what this is, largely because I'm very bad at remembering who is who and which families are allied with whom, and then when people turn traitor I get very confused. I've talked about that before, I'm just not very good at it, but the fact that I have a bit more time than I usually do and I'm not on a bus, I'm not distracted, I think this is going to be okay. It's got kind of fish out of water stuff, it's got, as I say, politics and all of that stuff. Yeah, I'm excited to get more backstory of the main character of Yeine, Y-E-I-N-E. I'm excited to get more of her backstory because I think that's what I missed. It kind of throws you right in with the action, which, to be fair, the Broken Earth does as well. And I know this is the start of a series, so it's possible that doesn't happen in this book, but I'm interested to see that. Yeah, so far it's pretty good. 400 pages total, or 410 or something like that. I'm about a quarter of the way through. I'm expecting it either to switch into even more intense politics with probably some more murder, or to get very actiony fairly soon, just because that's what I would expect from the story. But we'll see. I think I'm gonna not vlog the rest of today. I think that's my plan, partly because nothing interesting is going to happen, and partly because I'm going to just give myself some space, and that will be good. And I will see you again tomorrow, either with the end of this, or, I don't know, something else. We'll see how we go. Thanks for sticking around. Good morning! It is Wednesday, my dudes, I think. I ended up not vlogging very much yesterday, as you will well know, because I just had such an anxious day. It was just one of those days where everything felt way too much. I think what actually fixed it for me was I had a nice bath and I didn't even read, I just sort of sat mindlessly and it was good. It was good. But today is a new day and I decided to go for a walk because I just needed to remind myself that I'm allowed to leave the house, which was very nice. So many dogs. They were all good. It was great. And I'm listening to, my current audiobook is Kingdom of Copper, so the second book in the Day of the Bad trilogy, because I did City of Brass earlier in the month, and I'm really loving it, but it's near the end and we're just at the bit where just everything feels so hopeless. And it's not necessarily the best choice of reading material at present. I won't spoil it for you, but I do think this series is one of the best if you're the kind of person who likes fiction that does the kind of like, everything's fine, then completely pulls the rug out from under your feet and is like, no, you're all gonna die. Like to the point where I can't listen to it before bed anymore because I just don't want to stop listening, so I've had to put on something where I know how it ends. And I've read this before, so I just clearly have completely forgotten how it ended, which is good because next month I want to read, what's it called? Something of Gold. Empire of Gold? I've got a little bit before I'm going to start work, so I'm going to do some admin stuff that needs doing. But I will see you hopefully at lunchtime, assuming things are a bit calmer today. Ahoy hoy. I haven't done any more reading since we last spoke, but I did want to touch on a thing I am doing because my anxiety was super bad yesterday and I was like, I just need a way to distract myself. So I asked friends to send me links to whole albums that I could listen to so I could attempt to listen to some new stuff and kind of switch my brain off a bit. And I'm doing so, and I'm working through the list. I'm currently listening to Universes by Birds of Tokyo, which my friend Elle recommended, and I'm enjoying it so far. I just thought I would say I'm also doing some embroidery, which I can't show you in case I want to give it to somebody I know. I'm gonna definitely try and finish either Kingdom of Copper or 100,000 Kingdoms this evening, so I shall be back with more anon. I've just hit chapter 20 of 100,000 Kingdoms. I am liking it more and more. I'm actually quite glad I'm taking it slowly. I was annoyed at myself for how long it was taking to read, and then I thought about it a bit more and I was like, actually, this is one of those books where I suck at remembering names and anything to do with any of the characters, so probably better to read it a bit more slowly and actually know what's going on. Probably. And I've got some quicker stuff on my list for later in the month, so it doesn't matter that this is taking a bit longer. I think I probably will finish this today. And then my other current read, Kingdom of Copper, I have 1 hour and 7 minutes left, but given that I listen to that fairly quickly, I will probably finish that this morning as well. Oh, it's so hurting my heart at the moment. It's such a good book, but it's so many feelings. And now I'm thinking, am I going to have to bump something off my TBR to read Empire of Gold immediately because I just need to know what happens to these characters. I'm gonna do some reading, I'm gonna eat some breakfast. You'll probably get very few check-ins from me. I know I didn't check in again yesterday. I didn't have anything to add. One thing I do need to do today is take a whole bunch of pics for my Bookstagram because it's just run out and normally I have a good backlog of pictures to post, but I really need to get back on that. But I can't work out what to take photos of because normally I take photos of my TBR and that kind of lasts for most of the month. There is no book post because it's all either at work or stuck in the postal system. Although, on that note, do have very exciting book posts coming. The lovely human beings at Penguin Random House are sending me a copy of The Camelot Burning, which is the next book in the Guinevere Deception, I'm not sure what the series is called, by Kirsten White, which I absolutely loved and can't quite believe that they contacted. I know it's because I'm just on their list, but I was like, you're asking me if I want one? I'm not begging you for one? What is this? And I also have a package from Lucy and Yak coming with some rainbow socks and some new trousers, which is very exciting. And I know you don't care about that, but I really do. So hopefully the post in a couple of days is going to be very exciting. But today is another day of work. I'll see you later. Okay, I have 5 minutes before I have to start working, so I'm going to talk fast. I've just finished Kingdom of Copper, and it's so good and amazing and wonderful and fabulous and heartbreaking and leads on such a cliffhanger. Good morning. I'm just doing some morning knitting because I realised that I actually had the brain to finish the jumper I've been making, which is very exciting. Interesting adventure. I've knitted a jumper before, but it came out the lumpiest, most confused garment that has ever been. It's Friday morning. Huzzah! Finally Friday. What did I do? Yesterday I finished Kingdom of Copper, which we talked about. But let's reiterate again that the David Bad trilogy, at least book 2, is fantastic. And you should all go read it if you like. I also would take this time to recommend the audiobooks. I can't remember the narrator's name. I'll put her name on screen. But she does a really good job. Yes, enjoyed. I also finished N.K. Jemisin's 100,000 Kingdoms, which actually I enjoyed a lot more than I thought I would. At the beginning I thought I was going to get totally bogged down in everything, but it shifted quite quickly to stop being quite such a political book to being a lot more fantasy. And actually I thought it was really, really good. There's an interesting romance, which is quite a arguably quite shallow romance, it feels, and I don't actually think that's a bad thing. Because A, it's book 1 in a series. I have no idea if the other series follow the same characters, so that's something to discover. But yeah, I think representing relationships that come out of something that isn't love at first sight, or could be more lust at first sight, is good. I thought it was good. My thought was to go straight in and start Empire of Gold, and I debated it, and I think that would be a good thing to reward myself with if I actually finish my TBR. Yeah, I think it's gotta, otherwise I'm gonna end up with what I did last month and not actually reading my rereads, and then what's the point in having a rereads jar? Instead, I'm going to give myself a bit of an easier day today. I'm going to read Tunnel of Bones by Victoria Schwab. Yes, this is obviously middle grade. It's going to be nice and easy. Ghosts, and sometimes you want to be scared for reasons other than global crisis. I mean, one thing I've really valued this week is that I have a lot of books to read, and being able to take this as an opportunity to kind of buckle down and read. And also I have a lot of kind of creative projects on the go, and without giving my time, without doing the thing where you only value your time if it's productive, which I think is something I try not to do, it is a nice opportunity to kind of finish them off. So for example, this jumper I bought a couple of months ago, I think I got it near my birthday, this jumper kind of kit, and I never finished it. And actually the knitting it up doesn't take very long because the wool is so chunky and it's in double wrap. So why not take this time to kind of do it if I've got the brain space to do it? I'd been working my way through the albums that some friends recommended. I switched back to kind of my usual work playlists in the afternoon because I just find it much harder to focus in the afternoon, especially working from home. But I'm having some fun exploring some new things. What I've really enjoyed is where friends have recommended albums that I already love, in a kind of like, you may not have heard of Kishibashi, and I'm like, oh honey, I've heard of Kishibashi. Not in a obnoxious way, but just in a, it's nice to know that other people are listening to the sort of somewhat odd things that I'm also listening to. That must have been row 4. Yeah, I'm going to do one more row and then I'm going to start working. So what can I talk about for one more row? Tunnel of Bones, let's talk about reading. I read City of Ghosts. I pre-ordered it. It was back when I was immediately auto-buying all the Schwab's stuff. I do read most of her stuff, and I will read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue at some point. I'm not sure when. It's not going to be a case of pre-ordering at this point, I don't think, just because I've got a lot of other stuff I need to read and I'm trying to be more sensible about book buying at the moment. Anyway, I read City of Ghosts at some point, I can't remember when, and I really liked it. I don't read a huge amount of middle grade, so I don't have kind of a barometer for how it stands in relation to everything else that's publishing at the moment. Like, I could talk about middle grade from, well, what, 15 years ago, probably more, 17 years ago. Couldn't really tell you about what's going on at the moment. If you do want to hear about that, I recommend going to Asha's blog because she talks about middle grade in a very, very good way. I will link her below. But I think the middle grade that I do enjoy is the kind that doesn't feel patronising, and I don't think much does, but some things I'm just like, oh, for goodness sake, we get it, girls can wear wellies, which City of Ghosts didn't do. It was very... It was written as a love letter to Edinburgh, I think, because V. Schwab does love Edinburgh, but felt in places like you were meant to kind of take the book with you when you go and go, oh, we're here where Cassidy did this. And I don't know, matter of personal preference, maybe you also love Edinburgh. I really love Edinburgh as a city, but it's the thing of I don't need to discover it this way. And it's odd experiencing one person's joys of Edinburgh, I suppose. So this next book being set in Paris should be even more interesting because I, A, have no idea what her kind of connection to Paris is in a similar way, and my own feelings on Paris are that it's a lovely place, but people who go there expecting film-like things are fools, and it's quite a stressful city. The best thing you can do if you are going to Paris, and this is my one bit of life advice, is go and get nice baguettes and eat them at the point of Ile de la Cité where Notre Dame is, but like go to the other end. Some knitting has been done. Some reading shall be done. Some drinking of coffee shall be done. Hey, it's Saturday morning. I've just filmed my Starless Sea review. It went alright. I had a bit of teething issues at the beginning in that I can't do words. It's too early. Now, I know the night circus isn't for everyone. I just spilled tea on myself. The other exciting news from today is that I have finished all the pieces for my knitted jumper. And I just need to sew them all together. So maybe that's what the other thing I will do today, along with editing the rest of this vlog. It's lots to be done. It's going to be good. And I'm really excited because I get to like properly work at my desk. My goal was to have finished all of my book reviews by the end of this week. I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, I'm in full swamp hag editing mode, but the post just came, so let's do a very brief, exciting unboxing of two very exciting parcels. Bookish one first, bookish one first. It's the Camelot Betrayal. Look how pretty it is. Look at her beautiful face. Look at her face, not my face. Oh, and they can sit happily with each other. Very excited to read this. This is out in November, so very nice early proof. I will be reading this as soon as I possibly humanly can. Non-bookish purchase. This came so quickly. This is from Aesthetic Laundry, and I'm so excited. So you get a fabric swatch of their spring-summer collection, which has just dropped. They suggest that you make your own keyring with the tassel that wraps up your parcel. And I like handwritten note. Oh, this is so adorable. I've wanted one of these for probably like 3 months, but it's like a tassel sleeve jumper and it's so good. I'm obsessed. This may be my new favourite jumper. It is Saturday afternoon / evening. I don't actually know what time it is. 5 to 5. I'm just coming on to sign off, to say goodbye, because I want to get this vlog up at some point, and to do that I need to finish it. I've just finished Tunnel of Bones. It was okay. I think City of Ghosts is much stronger. That's probably because I found some of the let's learn about France a bit more patronising in this one. The Edinburgh one didn't feel quite so, this is a French phrase, children, now you know how to say it, which this really did. But it's middle grade, so if you were actually a middle grade reader, then you might not find that so irritating. Or if you don't know anything about Paris or France or French or different names for French desserts, that came up a lot, then I think you would have an alright time reading this. The actual plot is kind of fine. It's a ghost hunting middle grade book. I think the later books where it seems like things are going to get a bit more big picture will be better. We've had a good week. We've read a lot of books. We've read quite a number of books. We've received much post. We've had a wonderful time. I'm going to sign off now. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I know it was a bit odd. It's kind of always the way with trying to do a weekly vlog, even when working from home, it would seem. But hopefully you've had a bit of a snippet into what my life's been like this week. What have you been up to? Let me know in the comments, and be sure to subscribe to find out when I'm posting more videos. I don't know when this will go up in relation to my Starless Sea review, but that will either be there or be turning up. I've got loads more ideas I want to share, so just subscribe, share, follow me on all of my socials, they'll be linked below, and I will see you in the next one.